Magandang araw po sa inyong lahat. Welcome again to our channel, Sir Lopez Vlog. Sa araw na ito, magkakaroon muli tayo ng self-evaluation dito sa subject na Law on Evidence. 25 katanungan ang susukat sa ating academic preparation para sa subject na ito. Ang mga kasagutan sa mga tanong na ating ibibigay ngayong araw ay makikita dito sa ating description box. Okay? Kung nakahanda na kayo, start na natin sa question number 1. The following are mandatory judicial notice except A. Territorial extent of states, B. Political history, C. Form of government, or D. Matters which are of public knowledge. Number 2. Referring to an admission, oral or written, made by the party in the course of the proceedings in the same case. A. Extrajudicial admission, B. Judicial admission, C. Oral admission, or D. Written admission. Number 3. What are those evidence addressed to the senses of the court? A. Documentary evidence, B. Object evidence, C. Parole evidence, or D. Circumstantial evidence. Number 4. When an instrument consists partly of written words and partly of a printed form, and the two are inconsistent, which one should be in control? A. Written words, B. The printed form, C. The first one to submit, or D. Only the one which is proven. Number 5. All persons who can perceive and perceiving and make known his perception to others may be A. An evidence, B. Adjudged guilty, C. Witness, or D. Judge. Number 6. When an object evidence is relevant to the fact in issue, it may be A. Exhibited by the court, B. Examined by the court, C. Viewed by the court, or D. All of them. 7. When the terms of an agreement have been reduced to writing, it is considered as containing all the terms agreed upon. A. Hearsay evidence rule, B. Parole evidence rule, C. Object evidence rule, or D. Primary evidence rule. Number 8. All persons who can perceive in perceiving can make known their perception to others may be A. Witness, B. Suspect, C. Judge, or D. Accused. Number 9. Interest in the outcome of the case, unless otherwise provided by law, shall A. Be a ground for disqualification as a witness, B. Not be a ground for disqualification as a witness, C. Be a ground for disqualification as a lawyer in a case, or D. Be a ground for dismissal of the case. Number 10. What is required before the husband or wife may testify against the other during the existence of their marriage? A. Permission from the court, B. Written approval by the barangay captain or their locality, C. Consent from the affected spouse, or D. Consent from the relatives. 11. What is the limitation of the witness concerning the scope of his or her testimony? A. Only verified information from their neighbor. B. Include also his or her opinion. C. Confined to his or her personal knowledge. Or D. Any of them. Number 12. Can a person be compelled to testify against his parents? A. Yes. B. No. 13. The declaration of the accused acknowledging his guilt of the offense charged. A. Confession. B. Admission. C. Compromise. Or D. Instigation. 14. The act, declaration, or omission of a party as to relevant fact may be given in evidence against him or her. A. Confession by the accused. B. Admission by a party. C. Compromise. Or D. Instigation. 15. When an act or declaration made in the presence of a party who does or say nothing if such is not true may be given as evidence against him. A. Confession by silence. B. Admission by silence. C. Compromise. Or D. Instigation. 16. What is referring to the declaration of a dying person made under the consciousness of an impending death? A. Death declaration. B. Last will in testament. C. Dying declaration. Or D. Succession. 17. Statement made by person while starting occurrence is taking place. A. Dying declaration. B. Death declaration. C. Part of death declaration. Or D. Part of res gestae. 18. What is the general role on the opinion of a witness? A. Admissible. B. Not admissible. C. Conditional admissibility. Or D. Absolutely admissible. 19. When the ordinary witness may testify on his or her impression. A. Regarding emotion of a person. B. Regarding behavior of a person. C. Regarding condition or appearance of a person. Or D. All of them. 20. What is the role regarding the evidence of a person's character? A. Generally admissible. B. Not generally admissible. C. May be admissible. Or D. None of them. 21. The duty of a party to present evidence on the facts in issue necessary to establish his or her claim. A. Burden of proof. B. Burden of evidence. C. Evidence aliunde. Or letter D. Evidential issue. 22. The examination in chief of a witness by the party presenting him or her on the facts relevant to the issue. A. Direct examination. B. Cross-examination. C. Redirect examination. Or D. Recross examination. 23. A question which suggests to the witness the answer which the examining party desires. A. Misleading question. B. Suggesting question. C. Leading question. Or D. Question of fact. (24) One which assumes as true a fact not yet testified by the witness. A. Misleading question. B. Suggesting question. C. Leading question. Or D. Question of fact. 25. What is the rule regarding objection on the offer of evidence immediately after the offer is made? A. Must be in writing. B. Made orally. C. Both A and B. Or D. None of them. Okay, so natapos na natin ang ating isinagawang self-evaluation. Alamin na natin kung hanggang saan ang ating nakuhang score sa araw na ito. I-check nyo na ang inyong papel gamit ang K2 correction na nandito sa ating description box. At kung ang iyong nakuha ay higit pa sa 20, congratulations. That is a good indication na maganda ang preparation mo sa subject na ito. And maintain that kind of performance until the time that you will going to take the board examination. Inaasahan ko na naman ang iyong participation sa mga susunod pang pagkakataon. Okay, so hanggang sa muli, maraming salamat at magandang araw po sa inyong lahat.